Hey, what's going on, everybody? Datamine King here, back for another Datamines video here on Marvel Strike Force. Yes, we do have some more stuff to talk about. I feel like almost every other day, it seems, there's something new coming into the Datamines, but that's okay because that gives me more stuff to talk about, to theorize, and some hints that they seem to be dropping in the game. Now, I will say that, just because it's in the game or there's hints being dropped does not mean it's coming anytime soon. I mean, but what's interesting though, and I want to mention that previously there were, story hint drops of Null, back in the Spider Society showcase, and I think one of maybe the Hive Mind one as well. And turns out that we found, Null character portraits, right? And so I don't know what that means. Like 3 to 6 months, pass in terms of what this might be telling us. But I think it's really exciting, anyways, to kind of take a look at what maybe might happen, including some actual things that are actually happening. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Now, let's start things off with the data mines, some easy stuff here. Now, keep in mind, if you do want to follow along, if you ever want to kind of get this news as I drop it, what I do is I drop it and then I do the video and whatnot, and then it goes out. So, make sure that you're a member of the Boilon Discord server, which you can find the link in the description down below. Now, this is some easy stuff here. Coming soon, Pool Party Chill Out and Dry Off. So that's week 3 and week 4 of the Deadpool party thing, and it seems that we're going to be getting mutant gear for week 3. And I guess that they're giving us you're getting some resources, right? There's some red gear in there, right? So we have the pool party float on, and so I guess that's what it means. It means like it's going to be this stuff, like you're going to get red mutant gear, I guess, on the 3rd week there, and all this is kind of tech related. I don't know who the quantum energy is necessarily aimed at, but either way, that stuff is going to be in this case mutant for week 3. So we have that coming, and in order to do and mega gold orbs as well. So let's see how many we actually get for free. Either way though, for this milestone, it's going to require spending pool party and Age of X event energy. Now, what is Age of X event energy? Well, it's going to be for that upcoming Magneto event that we spoke about in yesterday's video, the Mind of Magneto, which probably makes sense. It's probably going to be next Monday. Most likely it'll be in the blog post on Friday. Collecting chimichangas, you're going to earn mutant gear, pool party orbs, mega gold orbs, plural, actually, so more than one. So we'll see about that. And then the pool party orb, I think, is the same all 4 weeks, right? It's the same stuff that we're getting right now. And then pool party dry off is bio gear and the nice pool costume. That's the current one, I think, for Deadpool. And a pool portrait avatar frame. And that's just going to be using the pool pals trait that we have right now that we've been using. So just a lot of the same stuff. We also have the Annihilator showcase in the data mine. So that's going to be called Annihilation. Now, the way this is working and the way that it suggests in the data mines is basically that it's going to be a regurgitation of the Illuminati style, which I'm not sure how much I like. And the reason why I say that is because it's super irritating that it's not in the campaign's window. To find it, you have to go to the events screen. And there's so many events in the game right now that you have to scroll all the way over to the illuminating assault. So this is where you're going to find the Annihilator showcase. You're going to click on it, and then there are each individual characters. Then you have to go into that one, and then so what it means is that you're only ever going to be able to farm one campaign at a time, because Black Panther Shuri's energy is shared with Hank Pym. So in this case, I've been farming the Black Panther node for gold orb fragments, right? And so that's what's going to happen for the Annihilator one. There's going to be, I think it's Gladiator first, and then Gore, and then basically you're only going to be able to farm one of them, but they're all going to be kind of running simultaneously, I guess, is going to be the idea there. So it's called Annihilation. It says right here, the all-new characters Thanos, Endgame, Gore, Gladiator, who joined the updated Ultimus, and Silver Surfer, participate in the event to earn amazing rewards. Now, against a galactic level threat. Now, we're going to talk about this as well, because we have the dialogue, the story dialogue. I don't normally dive into that, but there's some pretty interesting stuff, both in the Minds of Magneto one and the Annihilators one as well. Now, what's changed, though, is the requirements for this, and this almost appears the same way as Illuminati as well. So it says you need Gladiator at 3, 4, and 5 yellow stars in order to complete Chapter 2 of the event. And they say that for Gore, for Thanos down here. I forgot to fix that, actually. And then the Annihilator teams, too. So if we look into how it is currently, like I guess we can go into the Hank Pym one, right? And so chapter two, 3, 4, 5 star. I mean, that seems to be what's going on here, I guess, for the bonus stuff. And I think that the nodes are basically going to look like this: that there are 5 nodes for the story, which you're going to farm, and there's going to be 3 of them, or 4 total, I suppose. So almost identical like this, except for Thanos won't be blocked like Captain Britain is, because you can do the story for Captain Britain, but obviously you can't touch any of these without actually having them. So there you go. I actually had no idea you could get a 1 diamond Captain Britain for having a 5 star CP. But hey, I learn something new every day. So that's what this new Annihilator Showcase is going to look like, for better or for worse. Now, there is also the titles for the Gladiator, Gore, Team Showcase, and Thanos missions. It's nothing that crazy, but what I will say is that there seems to be a storyline going on where it involves Star-Lord and the Guardians, and Ultron fuses with the Phalanx. Now, we'll see this when we get to the dialogue part. I'm not super familiar with the Phalanx. I had to look it up, and I think it was related to that character Warlock in the, I think he's somewhat related to the mutants, actually. But the Phalanx Empire, which is they're like the technocratic, I don't know, they look like weird aliens with like machinery, basically. And so that's the storyline coming out of the Annihilation event, which is them. It's Ultron fusing with the Phalanx, and then you having to go and fight and kill Ultron or whatever. And that's how they somehow convince Gore to join up. Is that this Ultron Phalanx fusion is like a massive cosmic threat that they need to get rid of. And so that's what's going on there. We can take a look once we get into the actual dialogue stuff. Of course, there is Ares Awakened, Ultimate, and Passive. We knew that was coming, but it's just in the offers now, and the data mines for the offers. Also, there's something from the offers called Marvel Legacy 85 Years. I guess it's 85 years of Marvel, so they're going to be celebrating that with offers, of course. And then finally, we have an update to the Magneto event. Not finally, we have a little bit more to talk about, but the Magneto event is getting changed to Mutant from what I believe was X-Men and Brotherhood before. So I don't know if this is more hints at a Magneto rework. Otherwise, why would they bother updating this now? When it could be a bit early as well, but they updated the Iron Man and Black Bolt events because they knew that they were going to be added to the Illuminati. And so it just makes me wonder, why are they doing all this stuff with Magneto now? Like I spoke about in the previous video, there are hints that a Magneto rework is coming to the OG Magneto, and I just don't know why they would go through all this trouble at this point in time if there wasn't something in the horizon. Maybe they're trying to do this to get ahead of this a little bit by doing it a little bit early. That way, like when it does come, maybe next patch, that is already done. So who knows? Secondly, I do want to bring up the dialogue for the Minds of Magneto event. And I'm not going to go through this and entirely reading the whole thing, but I did want to point out a few things which I thought were kind of interesting. So basically, the story starts out of the Minds of Magneto with Magneto, Old Man Logan, Emma Frost, and Jean Grey / Phoenix. So those are the main characters on the hero side of things that are talking at this point in time. And so Patience Beast, this Krakoan portal, I think he's talking to Old Man Logan. This Krakoan portal uses a blend of mutant and mystic energy. It's not easily deciphered. If you expect patience from our master sorcerer, you're going to cost us both our lives. I think this is maybe from the enemy's perspective. He needs access to these portals for his plan. So they talk about a master that's like, I guess they're trying to like get access to Krakoa. And there's some characters, there's some enemy characters, and someone has a master. Well, when we get to the bottom, though, actually, it'll make a little bit more sense. I am Magneto, master of magnetism. I don't care what evil you seek to unleash, monsters, but I'll make you regret ever bringing it to my door. Typical Eric, using 4 words when none would do. Wolverine, if you're going to interrupt, make yourself useful. My pleasure, bub. And then they go through here, and we're here to talk about your dreams, Eric. I think it's interesting because this is all about the minds of Magneto. A lot of people, some people made reference to Onslaught in my last video. So I'm not gonna say like that's possible as well. Actually, like all I know is that there's hints of a Magneto rework. That is what I've heard in terms of the rumors. In terms of what else could be going on, though, I don't know. Maybe to me, Onslaught would seem like a character that would be like Dark Dimension 9. And if you guys remember from the Age of X portrait, and they also made hints that the legendary characters would have some sort of connection to Xavier. Now, I don't know if that's out the window, and I'm gonna put where's my subject to change button? I don't even know where that is now, right now, because things have kind of just blown out the way, with the change for Xavier being Dark Dimension, whatever. We don't even know, right? If he's Dark Dimension 9 or Dark Dimension 10 at this point. But maybe there's a chance that some of these things could happen, like an Onslaught, legendary or mythic character or something like that. Who knows? And I wanted to talk about the end here. It says, "Your mind is crying out one word in your sleep, one we've been searching for since Wolverine arrived in our world." So that's referencing Old Man Logan because he's from a different universe. He keeps mentioning Charles. I hate to disappoint, but that name means nothing to me. That's Logan talking here. Whenever you or whatever you claim I'm thinking, I can't help you. Oh no, we don't expect you can simply tell us what we know want to know. For that, we need to go inside your mind. So this is quite an interesting story, and there's some sort of narrative here, right? And this is really important to understand where it's very rare that people actually touch on the story in Marvel Strike Force, but there is a narrative that's being produced that has some hints for the future. So I'm not going to go through this in every single node, in terms of the dialogue. They kind of go through various instances of Magneto's events in the comics. There's like a Brotherhood one, and they talk. Actually, one of the ones is about, I believe, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, things like that as well. I think it's number 4 or maybe the number 5. One of the nodes in here, they talk about the family, and I don't know. No, my children, please, I can't. Sorry, Father, it's time you answer to the next generation. You disapproving or coddling us. How hard was it to try to live up to your expectations? Outright disowning us, stand and fight, old man. So yeah, some stuff I believe related to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and possibly Polaris. But I don't think Polaris was disowned. Anyways, there's also a Hydra one here. They talk about greetings, Herr Magnus, Hydra, and not just a few of them, a whole dang legion. Anyways, I want to get to the last node though, because that's where I think is really important. It's going to be node number 7 here. So I do want to read this one. The psychic trail leads here, a giant metal vault. Not particularly subtle, darling. And so that's Emma Frost talking, by the way. What better place to store my greatest secrets and fears that in a vessel I have complete control over? Your answers may lay inside, but if it's truly guarded by my deepest fears, we will face an opponent I've never defeated. Oh yeah? Who's that? Myself. You? You have held us back for too long with your morals and your pity. You're weak. And then that's the start of the battle. And then at the end, it says, I shall destroy you. But that doesn't mean I don't sometimes indulge in it. Humanity has done so much, taken so much. My darkest fear is I forego my soul in exchange for revenge, that I become no better than them. Now, do you find what you seek? Can we be gone from this place? You said when focusing on the name Charles, you felt something else. And you feel that again. I feel not just frustration, but kinship, respect, and beyond that, love. Wait, there, I found it. It's Jean Phoenix, obviously having that reminds me of the cartoon. Anyways, what did you see? Whoever altered your mind, Eric, your helmet must have made it more difficult than expected. So, someone with a telepath, obviously, Magneto's helmet does deflect against like psychic attacks, that kind of thing. They accidentally left a sign of their meddling where your memories of Charles were. A looming darkness, a great powerful void, almost a shadow. I think this is kind of interesting because when you read through the rest of the story, it seems, and because the end is really important, this is the impression that I got. The Shadow King. He is a psychic entity, a multiversal psychic entity, though we do know him mostly as, I forget his name, honestly, the Egyptian guy, where he's the main host of the Shadow King. But I think that this could be really interesting. So again, something that's probably not anytime soon. Most likely, these sorts of hints are like 3 to 6 months out, maybe a little bit longer. Who knows? But it seems to be that they're, especially over the last like few weeks, the things that we pulled up out of the data mines. I don't know. It seems like they're really pushing really hard on things that could be really exciting, to be honest, but also like some really big villains, not only through the portraits that we've seen with Nimrod and Null, and then some descriptions that, who knows, might give us an insight of some things down the line. And then we also know that, well, Magneto's event is being updated too, right? So that's pretty exciting too. And I think that might give us some clues of the things to come. Now, I think I think the door is wide open, honestly, at this point in terms of what we could be getting, because I think that with the direction of the game has changed since, obviously Xavier was pushed back. I think that realistically there could be lots of things on the horizon that we just don't quite know. Of course, though, I will be keeping people up to date with all things Marvel Strike Force, and whenever data mines come in, I will be there to cover them. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. What do you think the odds are? What kind of characters would you like to see come to Marvel Strike Force? And I don't know, Onslaught, Shadow King, there's some pretty big villains out here, especially the ones we've seen over the last few days. And on Friday, lots of stuff on the horizon. That's going to be it for now, everyone. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.